Hey guys, Foxdrop here with another game commentary. This game I'm playing in the new Season 5 jungle, of course. And I'm playing as Sejuani, not just any Sejuani, but Poro Rider Sejuani. The new Sejuani skin that just came out, which looks absolutely awesome. I mean, holy crap. Just take a look for yourself. It's so cute, the Poros. Oh my, it's an awesome skin. It's a load of fun. So I thought, why not put out a Sejuani video? I don't need an excuse to put out a Sejuani video anymore because the new skin's out. Now, before we get into this commentary, I just want to say I've been a bit not feeling 100% recently, so if my voice is a little off, that's because my voice is a little off. So I'm sorry for that in advance if I sound a bit strange during this commentary a bit. But anyway, some runes and masteries when you're playing as Sejuani jungle. For runes, I like to go attack speed reds and AP blues and AP Quints armor yellows. There's a lot of different things you can do, really. I should probably change the fog of war. There we go. There's a lot of things you could do. It depends on how you want to play her, because Sejuani is one of those champions where you can either go full tank on her, or you can go like pretty heavy AP, and it's kind of up to you what you want to run, and depending on whether you want to go AP or tank will kind of depend on what rune page you want to go with as well. But I would just recommend to go, you know, if you're not sure, just take attack speed reds, armor yellows, and AP blues and Quints. Masteries, I'm 9-21-0. You can go 21-9-0. Sejuani is one of those champions who actually you can take quite a lot of points in utility and not really sacrifice power that much. So you can go for like a really strange, you know, like 0, 16, 14 or something, you know, one of those cheesy mastery pages. But anyway, we're getting into the game now. 155 is when your first minion camp spawn. What is that sound? I thought I could hear pinging. Never mind. 155 is when your jungle camp spawn, and the jungle path you want to take normally on most champions is to go for a mini camp buff. That will get you level 3, and then you'll want to recall and buy your upgraded machete item. Now, because I'm starting on blue side this game, I am red side, sorry, not blue side. Because I am on the red team this game, I'm going to start at my blue jungle, and I'm just going to start at my bottom side jungle because that's where I get most help. You saw I got quite a nice leash on the Gromp there. You want to smite immediately as well so that you get the smite benefit instantly. And yeah, I like to start my bot side still just so I get a nice leash. For example, I could, if I were on the blue team, I would start at Krugs here, get a leash, go reds, and finish on blue. Just going to take this red buff away here as well. I'm going to smite it down and then just recall and buy my upgraded jungle item. Now, there's not too much to say about Sejuani. Basically, when you're in the early game on her, she's okay at ganking, but really she's nothing too special. But what you need to be aware of mostly is to not get destroyed in the early game, because a lot of people can abuse her if they want to. But Sejuani did get quite a nice buff in the recent patch, which really helps her clearing out. Basically, your W, whenever you hit someone with it now, the way your W, I should kind of explain what her W does, is your W kind of primes your next auto attack, and that next auto attack, it will hit for bonus damage, and then you'll start swinging, like right here, you'll see your next, there you go, my next auto attack, boom, and then you start swinging your flail around. What that empowered auto attack does percentage health damage. So it really hurts jungle monsters, and it's really powerful for clearing out jungle. Now this is my first gank of the game, which isn't really going to be too much because Katarina is really quite hard to gank. But the reason why I wanted to do this gank was because I just smited the Wraith camp, or the chicken camp, sorry I should say. And the chicken camp smite gives me this kind of vision detection. So I know, basically my goal was to either get a gank off or to stomp a ward. I'm going for the gank. Katarina's just slippery as hell. Takes us a while, but we blow a flash. It's all good. Also, it alleviates a bit of pressure from this Fizz, so he can start dominating Katarina if he wants to. Now I see a good opportunity to go top lane as well, because his Sion's a little bit out of position, and before this guy gets ridiculously tanky, we may as well try and kill him. Now I have red buff, so it makes it kind of easy for me to gank this guy, but nothing amazingly easy. So we just kind of want to go for this guy, chase him down. My red buff is expired now as well, so that makes this kind of hard. We want to try and, he's really low on health. Sadly, a machete just misses there, but still, we go ham on it. We get the first blood. Sion mops up 2 people, so Sion gets 2 kills. We get 1 kill, but we got the first blood. And if I remember correctly, when we were playing this game, I said worth it in all chat, so it was worth it. But if we're going to be playing a bit more seriously here, maybe in hindsight, might not have been a good idea to trade those 2 kills to Sion for the first blood. But of course, having me said worth in all chat, it was worth it, so that's fine. And really, what we should have done is, as soon as we blew his flash, we should have backed off, of course. But, you know, I'm not we didn't have time for that kind of passive crap. We went ham. We towered over him at level 3, and we got what was coming to us because of it. So my items now, I didn't really mention about my jungle item that I got, but I've gone for the Ranger's Trailblazer. The reason for that is because I say Sejuani isn't really aggressive early, and you don't really need anything. You don't want the poachers because you're not really counter jungler. You don't want skirmishers. It's just not very good on her. You can go stalkers if you want to, I suppose, to boost your early game ganking. But Rangers, in my opinion, is just the best, just so you can walk through, go through the jungle, just clear it, stay relatively healthy, not use too much mana. It's just the best to just power through the jungle so that, you know, because you're a tank character, and you're not really that good early, so you just want to get through the jungle and then come out the jungle when you have your ulti and wreck faces. So I'm also going for the Juggernaut upgrade too. You can go for, like I was saying, whether you want to go at the beginning of this commentary, if you want to go for AP or tanky, it's up to you. You know, Juggernaut is good for tanky, and AP is good for obviously doing damage. But here I see an opportunity to maybe try and help my bot lane here. They went overextended a little bit, so I'm trying to help him. The Grom passive and then one more basic attack from Graves takes him out. But sadly, Sejuani, when her ability's on cooldown, is kind of a bit of a wet noodle, as you're going to see here. I even managed to knock out Rek'Sai during his E, or her E, sorry, but she just literally just walks away from me. Like, you have pretty much no damage on Sejuani when you're in the early game, at least. So it's kind of hard for you to take people out like that. So right now I'm just lane taxing a little bit, just trying to get to my level 6. Sejuani is one of those champions who you really want to, like, your level 6 is a big deal, and you want to be ganking when you have, okay, firstly, when you're trying to queue over walls, you should probably do that successfully, but anyway, when your ulti is up, you really want to use it, and you want to make plays based around when your ulti is up. That scared the crap out of me. That means Rek'Sai is ulting somewhere. Okay, that was pretty scary. But yeah, whenever your ult's up on Sejuani, you want to use it. So you want to make plays based around when your ulti is up as well. So if your ult isn't up, you probably don't want to you don't want to try and do too much, because your power is so much bigger when your ult's up on Sejuani, like ridiculously. Especially when you're playing tank Sejuani, when you're all about that utility, it's crazy. So anyway, now my buffs have respawned. They respawned a little while ago, but it doesn't really matter too much because, you know, we were busy fighting, so I'm just not going to get stolen away from me or anything. Just going to take this blue buff away, and then because I see stuff is going on bot lane, I'm thinking, well, maybe I can get a play in here, maybe not. I'm pretty sure I just saw Lucian stomp this though, and obviously when they saw me stomp that, they know that I'm here. But, so there's probably nothing going too much there. So I just back off knowing that, yeah, they've probably seen me. So now I try to see if I can get this Katarina instead. She's not biting, so I'm like, well, whatever. I'm not going to try and force anything, so I'm just going to keep clearing my jungle. And also, I see right here, is I saw Rek'Sai with bot lane just a little while back. If I'll just rewind this a little. Where's Rek'Sai? I'm 90% sure I saw him show on the minimap here. There he is. We just saw him on the minimap here. There he is again, or she is, sorry. So Rek'Sai is here, and I've just finished my Wraith camp. So I know Rek'Sai is around bottom side jungle, and I knew when I saw him he didn't have his blue buff, so I know this blue buff's up for taking. So I counter jungle this away, I get it, and I walk out. Like, it was an easy buff for me because Rek'Sai was not in the position to defend his or her blue buff. Now I'm looking to counter jungle again because I've got my smite up. I want to smite these wolves to give me this little ghost spirit. But here we see Rek'Sai has TP'd into her blue buff. Now I see this and I fancy, you know, I kind of want to judge my power levels right now. I'm relatively strong because I've got my upgraded jungle items, so I'm thinking, yeah, and obviously the spirit can see Rek'Sai, so I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll try and fight this guy or this girl. Now Rek'Sai is a very good duelist, so you have to be kind of careful. But I think because I've got my ult up, I can probably take her down. And honestly, I can probably take her down, but then this bad boy shows up and decides to ruin my day. So I flash over the wall thinking maybe I can flash and then start juking people, but they flash after me and kill me as well. So this was just greed by me. Like, if you're ever counter jungling, you always, firstly, you should probably be doing it on someone who's got some decent mobility. There's like 2 rules that you should be doing when you're counter jungling. The first rule is always look at the side lanes. Look at the side lanes to see what the potential threats are. If someone is missing from a side lane, you know chances are they might be coming for you, or at least they're a threat to potentially come and come for you. You don't want any of that. You don't want to be playing with more than one person. And second rule of counter jungling is that you do not want to be in there if you don't have an escape route. Like at all times when you're sitting in the enemy jungle, you want to think in your head, okay, if I get caught out of position, what's my escape route? You always want to have a backup plan in case things go tits up. Me, I went too aggressive. I wanted to fight that Rek'Sai. I wanted to see whether I could kill her or not. Whether or not I could have killed her, didn't really get to prove anything because Sion came in, but that was bad by me because I didn't have an escape route planned because I went too aggressive, and then I didn't check the side lanes, so Sion came and he killed me. So I'm just picking up my red buff here. Just going to smite this away. And I'm kind of like, my ulti's up now as well, so I want to check and see if there are any opportunities to go in for a gank. Sejuani is very, very good at, with her, like ganking with her ulti, amazing, and counter-ganking with her ulti is also very strong as well. In normal 3v3, she's probably not the type of champion you want hanging around. She's not as strong individually as other champions, but in counter ganks, she's very powerful with her ulti. So now we look for a gank going into this bot lane. I've got my ulti up, so I'm seeing that maybe I can get a playoff here. Our bot lane engages initially to start it all off, which is good. And I'm looking for a chance to use my ulti on more than one target, and preferably on a priority target as well. The priority target here would be Lucian, with Braum and Rek'Sai not being as important, but really in a gank, priority targets aren't as important because you're not really looking to win a team fight, you're just looking to get kills as soon as possible, i.e. before they get back to their tower and make it impossible to kill them. So what I'm looking for here is a position to use my ult, and with Rek'Sai where she's positioned now, she's going to block my ult from Lucian, so I can't use it on her. On Lucian because, you know, Rek'Sai's just going to block it. So I need to get into a slightly better position, or I just need to give up on Lucian and go for someone else. So if we unpause this for a little bit, sorry, I want to make it go slowly still. So we unpause this, we see that Leona actually locks into Lucian. So I tried to run past Rek'Sai and Q into him, but Rek'Sai does a really, really nice flash. And so when I see that Rek'Sai and Braum are instead positioned on top of each other, I think, well, I'm not going to be able to get an ult off onto Lucian most likely, so I'll just ult two people who are stacked up. So we do that, we go in, and we manage to mop up sloppily 3 people, but still. On Sejuani, I was holding on, I didn't want to throw my ulti out immediately, I wanted to wait for it. You have to be patient when you're using a high impact ulti like Sejuani, because the difference between a good ultimate and a bad ultimate is very, very big. And oftentimes it's the difference between winning and losing a team fight, or having things go successfully or unsuccessfully for you in a gank. So it worked out for us bot lane. We probably shouldn't have got all 3 kills, but we played it well enough to get at least 1, probably 2. So that works out nicely for us. And now I'm just going to go back and buy my haunting guys here, and then go back to jungling in the old jungle. Now, Haunting Guys is one of those very good items on Sejuani because Liandry's is an extremely good item, and obviously that builds out of that builds out of Haunting Guys. And also Spell Pen is nice because all of our abilities do magic damage, but our AP scalings are they're okay honestly, but they're not really anything special like it. So yeah, Haunting Guys is just a very good item to get on her. So the Spell Pen helps with that. And also, like I say, building into Liandry's, but it gives you a bit of health as well. It's an all-around just a pretty nice item. It's like a good hybrid item, but honestly, if you're going full tank, I wouldn't really recommend that you get Haunting Guys. Maybe it's your 3rd or 4th item to get a Liandry's, but it's going to give me a fair amount of damage at this point in the game anyway. So whenever you see these tunnels, you're playing against Rek'Sai, of course, you want to try and stomp them. This one I don't care too much about. I'm being lazy because I want to go and take my blue buff away. It's been up for too long. Just going to take this down. Die. Come on. There we go. It's dying. And then I'm going to try and, again, because my ulti's up. Whenever your ulti's up, you want to try and make a play. So my ulti's up, and I'm pinging this Fizz saying I'm on my way. Now, the reason I'm pinging him saying I'm on my way is because we saw Rek'Sai on this ward, so we know we can set up a counter gank. This is where things go slightly wrong, but I want to just rewind just a little bit here so I can show you how things go down. So at this point, I'm on my blue buff. I come out. I'm going to go to my walls, but then I think, maybe I can go mid lane. And then Rek'Sai is going to show up soon. There we go. So Rek'Sai is shown up here. What this means is that we know, this kind of gives us the upper hand because we 100% know where Rek'Sai is. We've seen her on a ward. There's not a 100% chance they know where I am. I mean, there's a chance they might know where we are, well, where I am, sorry, but the advantage is in our favor as far as getting the the sneaky upper hand goes. So if we can position if we can get Katarina and Rek'Sai to engage onto Fizz in this, I need to stop hitting my desk, in this situation, if they dedicate, they're going to lose. Rek'Sai and Katarina are both champions who use their engage as escapes. Like, both their escape ability and their engage ability are the same ability. So with Katarina's Shampoo and with Rek'Sai's tunnels, if Rek'Sai tunnels towards Fizz, that ability is going to be on cooldown, so she can't escape. If Katarina shumpos onto Fizz, that's going to be on cooldown, so she can't escape either. So if we can get them to dedicate, and then they're left without their escapes, I can get off a really, really nice ulti, and it's going to be an amazing counter gank. However, this doesn't get executed too well. I start spam ping and I'm on my way, because I want to set up a counter gank, but this is too early. This is a way too early engage by Fizz. The only way this would be a good engage is probably if he had a Zhonya's, so that he would buy some time for me to get in close to him. But he goes in, and he doesn't even use his troll pool, so he can't even buy time that way. I come in, I'm too late to the party. He went a bit too early as well. If we had a bit more patience, a bit more coordination, that would have been really nice for us. But still, it doesn't matter. These things happen, whatever. We just have to forget about that and move on. But that in theory, that could have been a pretty good counter gank. But it's all about patience. You don't want to waste time, or not waste time. So you don't want to waste these opportunities by being greedy, going in or whatever. It doesn't matter. So I'm just holding this lane, this mid lane. Going to recall now. I got a bit of gold, a bit low on health as well. So I want some health, want some gold. I went back and bought a giant spell as well. Now notice me saying in the early game that Sejuani wasn't too good at early. At this point in the game, obviously I'm relatively strong. I should be doing some things where I can, that is. But I'm still farming a lot. If you look at my CS here as well, I've got 80 CS compared to Rek'Sai's 51. That's because I haven't really been trying to do too much. I think maybe in the very early game where I ganked Katarina and Sion, I tried to do it a bit too much. We still blew summoners, so that was okay. But apart from that, I've been farming quite efficiently and taxing lanes where I can. Like right here is a good time to tax lanes. I'm just going to pause this here because I see that I'm going to explain why this is a good time to tax lanes. This may seem very obvious to some people, to others it won't be obvious, so it's worth explaining. Fizz's bot lane for a gank. There's a lot of minions here. If I pressure this mid lane, Katarina, if I don't pressure this mid lane, Kat can just, you know, she can maybe go in mid and try and push our tower down, or she'll just go and counter bot lane, hold that bot, and there's not really any pressure being applied by me. So she's given the liberty of a decision to make, whereas if I pressure mid and these guys are pressuring bot as well, she has to make a decision, and either one, she's losing out. If she goes bot, she's losing out mid. If she goes mid, she's losing out bot. So I just push it in, it gets me a bit of CS. It means that also that these minions die. I'm going to pause this as well because I want to explain something first. It means that these minions will die to the tower too, so she misses out on this CS. It's all over a pretty good decision to make as well. Now, I saw that Rek'Sai is dead right here, and I'm pretty sure this is the time, because my red buff is up on the minimap, you can see, my red buff's up. I know that Rek'Sai's red buff is also probably up. So, not red buff, sorry, her blue buff. So I go to counter gank it again, but before I counter jungle, sorry, but before I counter jungle it, I stomp all of Rek'Sai's tunnels. It's very important if you want to make a play, that around the area you're making a play, if you see any tunnels, you get rid of them when you're playing against Rek'Sai. Because Rek'Sai, that's the only way Rek'Sai can join the fight, is through the tunnels. And if you leave those tunnels up out of pure laziness, Rek'Sai will TP in and she can make a counter play. Whereas if you get rid of the tunnels first, you're not going to see Rek'Sai, and it's going to make things a lot easier for you. So take away her blue buff again. This is the second blue buff. I don't get greedy this time. I don't stay around trying to kill everyone and end up dying and feeding. So that's good, I suppose. But yeah, so I took away her blue buff, gone to my red buff as well, just to take that down. At this point in the game, I can start donating my red buff over to the Greys when lane phase is over. But really, this is kind of the first time Greys has been off his bot lane. Like, we haven't really finished lane phase that much, in all honesty. We've got like one tower down, they got our top tower, so it's kind of equal right now. I'm gonna rewind this actually, because I remember I was too busy talking about other things. So I sweep this area here just to see whether or not it's warded. Obviously, we don't want them having vision of me because I don't want them knowing where I am. Now we see that these Katarina and Rek'Sai pushed up quite far into the tower. I see our Grazers here. In a 2v2 situation, they're level 11, although Rek'Sai's level 11 doesn't mean too much because Rek'Sai doesn't really have an ultimate in these fights. Grazer's level 10. So, whoops, Grazer's not really that strong right now. But still, they'll push up pretty far. And now I see a good opportunity to go in and fight this Rek'Sai. Now we have to be careful because Katarina has a lot of damage and a Deathfire Grasp as well apparently. So this Graves doesn't stand a chance. But I beat the crap out of Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai's going absolutely nowhere. I also have double buff. And red buff on Sejuani means you're not getting away from this flail here. You swing your mace around, you're not getting away when Sejuani has a red buff. So I take Rek'Sai down and then just go back to pushing this mid as well. I try to... This is actually kind of a funny drive-by. I try to just engage onto this Katarina because we can easily blow her up with Fizz. And Sion comes out of nowhere and takes the fish, but I guess that's not really a big deal. I'm just sitting here taking the minions away. I'm like, this is not a good position for me to be in, but I'm not really that scared because I'm thinking, well, what is there to be afraid of? But this is what to be afraid of. Lucian and Braum are running up the river. And I'm not really seeing this. Like, I'm not looking at the minimap here right now, which is bad. We know that Sion and Katarina are around here, but really I'm not scared of that. Because, like I say, whenever you're in the enemy jungle, you always want to keep an eye on the other lanes where the enemy champions are, and also to have an escape route. Now, I've got one of those things down. I know my escape route. Like, I'm not scared because I know how to escape because I got my Q. I'm not afraid of that. And also I'm kind of aware of the second parameter, like knowing where the enemies are, because I know where Sion and Katarina are, so I can make a play based around their position. And I'm also smiting the wolf camp in the enemy jungle here, so it gives me vision of the enemy champions. I'm also going to try and take it away as well because I'm kind of greedy. So I'm just going to try and take these away while not, you know, maybe trying to get a kill as well. Obviously we're not going to be able to dedicate too hard onto that Sion because holy crap is he tanky. But this is where we also make a bit of a mistake here, is with the positioning of Braum and Lucian. I didn't know they were on their way. That was bad by me. Fizz has an escape route, no problem, but then I'm kind of stuck without a paddle in this wolf camp because I'm not too sure how to get out of here. So I wait for these guys to walk around here, and then I kind of just double back on them, and I just walk past them. Now this is also quite funny too, is that Lucian walks past, well, he almost walks past me, and then Braum goes for me. But this is where I made the mistake because I wasn't too looking where Lucian and Braum were. Because Lucian and Braum, you know, it made me blow my flash because I wasn't sure where they were. Now there's all 5 people in this position, right? There's all 5 people. Now if I use my ult where I'm standing now, I will hit Braum. Maybe Lucian and Sion will get frozen as well, but the other people won't. This is a pretty good position for me to use my ultimate if I were in a better position myself. But right now, they're in kind of like a V position, and Braum will tank the ulti and it won't really go over to the priority targets as much. Because we'll hit Braum and Sion with the ult, but they're not really the people we want to hit with the ult. Also, it's worth noting that my ult isn't actually up right now. I'm just saying in theory. This is kind of like these are kind of the situations you want on Sejuani. But we also don't want to completely abandon this fight. Because when people are the enemy team is grouped up like this, my ult is almost up. And if we can get a good ultimate off, then, you know, this is going to be a really good fight for us. Now, it's also worth noting as well to not get greedy or not get too greedy when you're playing Sejuani with her ulti. It's very, very tempting, as you're about to see now, to try and ult as many people as possible. And when really you should just throw it at one person, just get that one person down and make sure you're definitely going to win the fight. Because if you aim for you know, higher risk, higher reward, if you go for the high reward play where you're trying to hit more than one person or hit loads of people, then it's higher risk because chances are that's going to be a kind of, you know, you might miss that ulti. So right now I should just be ulting Lucian. Instead I just, like right now, like ult him. Like there's no reason to not ult him. So what I do here, I'm going to pause it because I saw Katarina walking forward as well. If Katarina had moved forward a little bit here into this ult, she would have got hit by it. Lucian would have got hit by it. And that would have been a really... If Katarina was standing a bit more forward here, like she was originally kind of moving this way, this would have been an amazing ultimate. It would have destroyed them. But it's still a greedy play because even though, yes, it would have been very, very good, there's also the risk that she wouldn't be in that position like we're seeing now, which is, you know, what is actually happening. She's not in that position. And it's just going to, you know... It's going to whiff. Like, it still hits 2 people, but it doesn't freeze anyone, and it completely misses Lucian. And considering we're so near the tower, we can't really continue this fight under the tower, at least not too much, unless they get extremely greedy. So what happens here is Katarina then tries to go in onto us, and Katarina gets exhausted, which is good, and gets blown up too. But I'm ridiculously low here. Our Fizz dies too, and, you know, this position, at least Lucian is very low on health. The people who are... You know, we're low, they're low. It's not really an amazing fight. At least our Graves has a bit more health than their Lucian, so that's something. I go into the Wraith camp here just to smite it, or the Chicken camp, sorry, to smite it away, so I get a 368 health heal from my Ranger's Trailblazer. And then I go back into the fight because I see that they've re-engaged. The enemy teams use their escapes to go back in here. Now this is a complete suicidal play if I do this. If I go in onto the Lucian and that, I'm going to die 100%. But I managed to soak up enough hits to make it so that my team can then go in and win the fight. So that was still worth it. Like, I died then, but I traded my life for Rek'Sai and Lucian. So we traded 1 for 2. So that's still fine. And also Graves gets the kill, which is, you know, perfect. We want Graves to get the kill, and we managed to take down the tower too. So, you know, if I had managed to land my ult there, that would have been a lot easier. But again, like I say, greedy ultis mean, you know, there's a fine balance between being patient with your ult, trying to make it as good as possible, and just whiffing your ulti. So it looks like our team's kind of slightly getting caught out a little bit, just they overstayed a tiny bit, but this is also a problem of Rek'Sai, is that firstly, chances of having a tunnel in this position here where you need it is very slim, and the second problem is that even if you do have a tunnel in that position, you know, you saw what happened there, they just walk away from you. It kind of sucks. So we kind of see these guys a bit out of position, not overly out of position, but now we're out of position as well, because we went into this Lucian and then his friends came out around the corner. So we need to be careful. Our blue buff is up here, and if we're not in a position to contest that much, then we're not going to be able to contest, and we're just going to be in a lot of trouble. So I try to use my ulti here as well, just to maybe catch these people, because I thought if it was like Fizz might potentially be running around the corner to, you know, just try to get a huge Wombo combo. That was my mistake. Like, I shouldn't have thrown my ulti out there. Like, firstly, it was a bad ult, it missed, and secondly, the reason I used it wasn't, you know, there was no real purpose to it in hindsight. But it's also worth noting as well about this Katarina's item build. When you rush Deathfire Grass, like you saw on Graves here how he got destroyed, it's also true that you get destroyed too. Like, you saw how easy Fizz was able to kill that Katarina because she didn't have the Zhonya's, she just dies instantly. And now we lost Fizz as well, I don't have my ulti. This dragon is going to be a bit hard to contest. If I had my ult, this would be a lot easier. But we've got Mundo coming in with the TP and a nice engage on Leona here as well. She comes in, she locks up this Lucian, which is what we want. But I need to be careful because I'm on pretty low health. Without my ult, I'm not that useful. I just want to soak up things. I also try to peel for this Graves, but holy crap, is he just going to die. And now I'm just going to try and, you know, do as much damage as possible, soak up some hits. I'm really not useful in this fight right now, but still, as long as I'm tanking hits, it means less priority targets are tanking them. But at that point, you know, I'm not useful really, so it doesn't matter if I die. If there's nothing for me to peel and I don't have my ulti, then I'm pretty useless in team fights. So they kill me, that's no problem, and it means that Mundo gets to stay alive, who has quite a lot of damage just because he's Mundo. So this fight would have been a lot easier if I had my ult, if I didn't waste it, but still a decent fight. In the end, it works out, and Mundo gets a triple kill. And only, I think, 3 of us died, although only 2 of us died in that actual fight, because Fizz died earlier, kind of. So that was worth it. All in all, that's fairly good. Dragon's still up though, we need to start contesting these. Sejuani, with her W having a percentage health damage, is actually not so bad at contesting Dragon, but she's really also nothing special compared to a lot of other champions. It's worth noting too on Sejuani that if you're playing tank Sejuani, it's worth getting CDR on your build just so you can spam your CC and, more importantly, spam your ulti. Now, I'm not really going for a CDR build this game because I'm kind of testing some other things out. What I've got this game is kind of like a tanky damage build, because I've got like an off-tank build, I guess you could say, because Sunfire Cape is not really a full tank item. It kind of is, but also with the passive on it as well, it's more about, you know, if you wanted a full tank item, you would go Randuin's over Sunfire, basically. And Sunfire is also a nice item on Sejuani just because the magic damage it does is benefited by your spell pen, for example on my Haunting Guys. And in addition to that, the you know, the stats are also nice too, and it's kind of just synergizes with your flail on your W. It just means that you do even more AoE damage there. But we caught Rek'Sai out of position a little bit here, so that's a good time for us to do this dragon. We take dragon away, that's all well and good. And now I'm looking for a time to engage. Now, when you people are grouped up, that is the complete wet dream for a Sejuani. Now, I could throw my ulti out here, and it would probably stun every single one of them. That is good. Stunning 3 people with 1 ultimate, fine. However, look at my team. They're not really in a position to follow up. If I did throw my ulti out there, my team would just they're not close enough to engage onto it. They'd just be watching and be, oh, that was a nice, good job, Foxdrop. That was a nice ulti. Maybe wait till we're close next time. So there's no point me throwing it out just yet anyway. So instead, I'm just going to wait a little longer. No point using my ult when my team's not around. And in addition, it looks like my patience kind of pays off because Lucian's walking closer too. And my team's getting closer. Leona engages. I throw my ulti out. 4 Quadraman stun. Leona follows it up with her combo, her ulti. I jump in. Fizz's ult's going down. Grey's ult goes down. Buckshot. Oh, happy feet, Wombo combo, they're just going down. And it's just filthy. Filthy Wombo combo. We just killed 4 people just from that. I mean, like I said earlier in this game, the difference between good Sejuani ults and bad Sejuani ults is monumental. I mean, you saw how hard that fight was down here a little while back, and you saw how easy it was here now. In fairness, they did all group up for me, but still, you'll find that people do group up. If you've got the eye for it, you'll find people group up for you all the time. So yeah, amazing. That's what you want to have happen on Sejuani. It just, I'm sweating just thinking about that play. God, that was so good, delicious. Now, because we see the enemy team has been dead, because we just killed them, now's a good time to push up the mid lane. However, we also have to be careful of the death timers. The death timers are not that long at this point in the game, so we can't really stay and take down a tower. We're also kind of low too. So if we stay and try to fight people, we're probably going to die. We're going to get greedy, they're going to respawn, and it's going to end horribly for us. Now, I see a nice time to go in on solution. However, like I was saying, if we stay too long, these guys are going to respawn. We're kind of low on health. We're going to get greedy, and we are going to die. So far we lost 2 people. We just lose another person here, and does Fizz get out alive? Nope. So we just lost 4 people for free, which is exactly what happened here. Exactly what happened here. Like, how good that Wombo combo was, and how good, like, the pluses it gave us, like how amazing it was, just completely negated. I mean, I suppose we did get a tower out of it as well, so overall we're slightly up, but still, how good that play was with the Wombo combo is, this play with us overstaying was equally as bad. As good as that was, this was just as bad as that, if that makes sense. So, you know, overstaying is just one of the biggest problems that you'll find. It's one of the biggest ways to throw games as well. And unnecessary deaths, I would say at least 50% of all unnecessary deaths come from overstaying. So don't overstay. If you know that people are going to come alive, or people are rotating for you, don't overstay. Just don't risk it. Just go back. Seriously, it's not worth the risk. So we should have got the tower and buggered off. Instead, we overstayed. Now, I smited the Wraith Camp. Smiting the Wraith Camp as well at this stage of the game is the most important Wraith Camp smite. Most important jungle smite, sorry, I should say. Because you don't really need the Krug benefit, you don't really need the Grunt benefit, you don't need the mana from blue buff, you don't really need the health from red buff. The spirit from the wolf is useful as well, actually, but really right now we just want to stun wards, get vision control. So smiting the chickens whenever you can, that's important. You should look to do that. So right now at this time, I'm just looking for a position to go in to fight. Someone looks out of position, so just going for them. That was an example of a non-greedy ultimate where you just use it for one person. You don't want to, like, there's no point saving it. Just make sure they die. And because we managed to pick 2 people out, and we managed to kill the tower previously as well, we then take this inhibitor down for free. So that's good, easy. And also I made the call this time around as well. I made the call in chat. I remember very clearly I said, after this inhib, go top. Why? Because I'm looking top, I'm seeing Mundo's pushing it down. It means we can rotate over to top, we can take this tower out, and then maybe some other good things will happen, who knows. But if we just stay mid, there's nothing to gain now that this mid tower is down. We can't really kill the Nexus towers, we only killed 2 people. We're not really tanky enough to just full on blow down the Nexus towers. We also don't really have a team that's very good at taking down towers, because our AP is a melee, so he's kind of fragile if he wants to kill the towers. I'm not very good at it either, so yeah, we don't want to, there's no point of staying mid. We can't really do anything bot lane. So why not just group up with our Mundo? We're now grouped up as 5. We've also got a small minion wave coming in. But Mundo's very tanky, so he can help us. He can help us tank down tower if you want to make a play there. And also, again, like I was saying, Rek'Sai tunnels, if you see them around where you're trying to make a play, get rid of them. Because Rek'Sai, if that was left open, she could ult into that tunnel. She would be able to come in behind us. And that's not really where you don't want to get sandwiched. Sandwich is bad, unless you're hungry and it's like a, BLT or something. Then sandwiches are kind of good. But still, this is not the kind of sandwich we want. So right now I'm just looking to go a bit aggressive here. Their positioning was not amazing here either. They get caught out. And we're just looking to go fight. At least some of us were looking to go fight because Katarina is trying to kill Graze. So Graze deals with Katarina nicely, which is good. And we're just trying to kill people who we can. Right now we should be focusing Lucian, but because this Rek'Sai is so low on health, kind of want to just kill her, but Rek'Sai gets away. I'm on low health. I tried for an MLG flash play, but I suck really hard. I was probably about 2 meters off of that. That wasn't even close. Don't know why I tried that. No one saw that. And yeah, so we like this is what happens when you make good plays. Like, I mean, it wasn't like a, oh my god, like amazing 420 no scope MLG Reddit play. Like the decision to peel off of this inhibitor after we're finished with it and just group up top, it's not like a blockbuster game sense play. It's nothing like that. It's not something which you only see in the OGN, or, you know, it's limited to only being of Korean descent. It's nothing like that. It's very simple. But good things happen when you make good decisions, just like this. People make mistakes, it's true. Like, it doesn't matter. Everyone makes mistakes. Seriously, everyone makes mistakes, whether you're bronze, whether you're silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, challenger. Everyone is making mistakes at this game. And it's up to you to capitalize on those mistakes. And, you know, if you're making good decisions and you're set up in a good position yourself, and you're not making those mistakes, I can guarantee you the less mistakes you make, then the more mistakes the enemy team will make, or at least in relation to you. That sounds very obvious, but also it's very true, and it's a very good way to be winning games as well. So right now we're kind of just low on health. We've been sieging the base really well, we've done a good job, we've taken loads of things down, and we just want to recall here, we want to get out of here, we don't want to do too much. But I see as well that the enemy team is respawning again, like the greed of staying. We need to not be greedy here because, you know, we don't want to overstay. We've already made that mistake once, we don't want to make it again. But also I see that Katarina is going a bit bloodlust, bloodthirsty for this Grace. And because my ults just come up again, I want to get out of here personally, but I'm probably give a bit of a helping hand here. So I walk up to Katarina, lob my ulti. That does enough to slow her down so that Mundo can take her out. Well, Grace can take her out with a sniper, massive ulti. And then I just take away these Krugs. I recall, and we're all good. Now we're going to be pretty healthy, so we should look for... Right, at this stage of the game, we've got them on the ropes. It's really just finding a way to knock them out or to, you know, tap them out. And the best two ways to do that are either just to brute your way down into their base and kill them, or take away Baron and let the minions brute their way into their base. So either of those two are good choices. We could do either one, honestly. We have a... Like, at this point in the game, you know, Baron is not a problem for us. I mean... But so is just going into their base. That's not a problem either, because we have very tanky members on this team. And tanky members are really what... If you want to brute your way down into the enemy base, you need tanky members, because you need someone to soak up the tower damage while your squishies, your carries, go in and make the plays. We have Mundo, we have me, we have Leona. We're well tanky enough to barrel our way into the enemy base and just destroy them. So I smite this chicken as well, just, you know, getting a chicken smite buff. I'm just pushing out the lanes a little bit so that we have some lane pressure going down. But now we also want to group up and we want to fight them. We want to kill them so we can push into the enemy base. Even just one death here will probably mean that we can bully our way into the base and kill them. So that's what that's what I've got in mind here. We just want to kill them, we want to engage, we want to make it happen. And Lucian walks a little bit too close to me. And the second he walks one step too close to me, I throw my ult down onto him. It's not one of those ults which is like a quadra ult down at the, you know, down near the dragon. It's not one of those MLG ults. It doesn't matter. I just kill one person because then my team follows up, beats the crap out of Lucian, and a team fight ensues as well. Even if none of this team fight happened, even if the enemy team just let Lucian die, how are they going to defend the base from us? Firstly, 4v5, we can just tower dive them easy peasy. Like, we're so tanky, we're so strong, it doesn't matter. And secondly, they don't have anyone to save them from... They don't have anyone to save them from, like, our minions or anything like that to push us away. They don't have any wave clear or anything like that. So, you know, the AD carry is usually you AD carry all your mid laner, depending on who your mid laner is usually the people who you want to have wave clear. People like Ziggs, Xerath are very good at wave clearing. People like Katarina, not so much. They're more better at killing people rather than killing minions. And now I also see that Katarina has killed my friends, Mr. Grave. Killed my friends, Mr. Grave? No, I killed my friend, Mr. Graves. So now I'm chasing her down. Come here, Katarina. I'm going to avenge my friend. Stop running. Justice. I need justice. Look at this swinging my flail. And the game finishes. There's no justice today. If there's any justice in the world, I would be my man, you would be my girl. But anyway, guys, that's it for my commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if my voice was a bit rough. My voice is just dead. Holy crap, I'm sorry. If you enjoyed the commentary, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And you can subscribe to me for more educational league content, bit of entertaining stuff on the side as well if you like that kind of thing. All about the new Season 5 jungle as well right now, so that's good. But thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video.